News right now, the suspected Gilgo Beach serial killer has appeared in court in New York. Rex Heuermann is charged with the murders of 3 women who were killed more than a decade ago. He's pleaded not guilty. Heuermann is also the prime suspect in a 4th murder. Laura Ingle live outside the courthouse in Riverhead, New York, with the very latest. Laura, what happened in the courtroom?
Good morning. You know, today was really a conference, not a hearing, but it was an important court appearance for the suspect in this case, Rex Heuermann, as for the first time we saw his wife appear in court. She sat in the 3rd row. Asa Ellerup, I think we have some video of her arriving. There was a huge press scrum of people trying to get images of her. We've never seen her appear before at court to either support her husband or just to look on. But at least today we did see her arrive for this very brief hearing. And really the matter at hand came between the district attorney, the defense attorney, and the judge, talking about the discovery matters in this case. And Mike Brown, Rex Heuermann's attorney, asking for 75 pages of discovery, also asking for lab requests from the Suffolk County Crime Lab that they want to go through. Of course, this is very vital to their defense. They want to see what prosecutors have on their client, which they accuse him of killing 3 of the Gilgo 4 victims in this case. The district attorney talked about the discovery that has already been handed over, and there certainly has been a lot of it. Remember, this case has been going on for years and years and years, so there is a lot of evidence, a lot of notes, and specifically about the search warrants that happened at the home of Rex Heuermann in Massapequa Park. 13,000 photos were taken during the execution of a search warrant, and those photos have been turned over, but the defense wants more. So as we move forward in this long case, we also heard from both attorneys today outside of court that the grand jury investigation into the 4th victim of the Gilgo 4 is still ongoing. A lot of reporters here and people want to know, will he be charged with that 4th victim? The answer is just we don't know as of right now. But now we have another court date to look forward to. That will be February 6th. So ideally, both sides will be able to get that discovery. Rex Heuermann will have a chance to go over it, and then we'll move forward. And it sounds like we're going to start seeing his wife, who filed for divorce just days after his arrest, Asa Ellerup, who was trailed today by a documentary film crew, by the way. It sounds like she's going to be arriving here at court moving forward. That is not yet confirmed, but that's kind of the sense that we got here today at court in Riverhead. Marnie?
Laura, does that mean that she is there to support him? I know that she showed up in jail to visit him recently. Was there any interaction between the 2 of them in court that you saw?
So I looked really closely, and she was in the 3rd row. I was in the 2nd. And I watched Rex Heuermann come out. And what was really interesting, you know that he's a big guy, right? So he was handcuffed behind his back. And he's such a large man that they actually had to use 2 sets of handcuffs so that they could connect. And he remained handcuffed the entire time. He came out, he looked at the judge, and just as he was leaving, he turned around and looked in the gallery, and he saw his wife sitting there. And I looked at her face. She gave a very slight smile. I didn't see him smile at her, but they certainly looked at each other. They locked eyes before he left. And then the other thing that happened today after court, Mike Brown, his attorney, was asked about her being here. And he said that she does not feel that he is capable of these crimes. He believes he did not. She believes he did not do this. So that's, I think, one of the first times that we have heard that from his attorney. So a couple of big developments here at this courthouse today.
Certainly so. She has filed for divorce, so we'll follow that. Interesting. Laura Ingle, thank you for the update.
Thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your television provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.